Hey beautiful people, what is up and welcome back to the channel. Okay, I know the lighting's off, I look a little raggedy. It is the end of the day, but I had to come and film this video because the Sephora VIB sale starts tomorrow and I couldn't leave y'all hanging. I had to talk about what not to buy. So if you were thinking about the Sephora VIB sale and you want to know my thoughts on the products that you should avoid, the brands that you should avoid, and what not to buy, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and just keep on watching. If this is your first time watching me, I'm Jamila. I love all things beauty. I love all things makeup and skincare, and I especially love sharing my tips and tricks for how to find high-end and luxury beauty products at bargain prices. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I would absolutely love if you would consider subscribing and joining the fam. So like I said, I'm all about a good deal. So when it comes to sales, I like to make sure that I'm speaking on it so that you guys get a sense of if it's a good sale or not. Because quite frankly, not every sale is a sale, if you feel me. So what I'm going to do is just give you guys some overarching details about what this Sephora VIB sale is. And then I want to dive into brands that you should not buy at all, what you should avoid, some safe brands, and then some that kind of like ride the cusp. So it's kind of up to you in terms of if you really see the value there. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So the Sephora ZIB, the Sephora VIB sale is the biggest sale Sephora does, and they do it twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall. So this is going to be the fall sale for Sephora. And what happens is that they make all of the products on their site available at a discount depending on the tier that you are within their Beauty Insider program. Now the Beauty Insider program is 100% free to sign up, but your tier depends on how much money you spend, with Rouge being the highest tier, and I do believe you have to spend over $1,000 to have Rouge status. Now with your status comes different perks. So those that are Rouge are actually able to shop the sale first and get the highest discount. Then the second tier is VIB, and then the final tier is Beauty Insider. Again, there are different sort of spend categories to reach before you can get to a certain tier. You have to have reached those categories before the VIB sale. So whatever you are going into the sale is what you're going to be. Now, like I said, the sale actually starts tomorrow, which is October 27th for Rouge members because they are able to shop first. And the sale will run until November 6th. Now, VIB and Insider members, they will be able to shop starting on the 31st. So what are the discounts looking like? So for Rouge members, everything you purchase will be 20% off. For VIB members, it's going to be 15% off. And for Beauty Insider members, it's going to be 10% off. And then the best thing about this sale is that you can shop as many times as you want. So this isn't a one-time purchase thing. You don't have to have everything ready in your cart to go immediately. You can shop as much times as possible. You can shop in stores, you can shop online. Totally up to you, and you will continue to get your discount off of the products. So let's talk about the big elephant in the room, because if you've been here before, you know my thoughts on the VIB sale. Personally, if you are not a Rouge member, I don't think it's worth shopping, because brands will often give you 10 to 15% off as a welcome code if you sign up for their newsletter and you just give them your email address. So in my opinion, 10 and 15% off isn't really a discount. One cool thing Sephora has started doing though recently is that they are allowing Rouge members to give a one-time access code or give Rouge status to one other person. So there have been Instagram profiles like Beauty Steal, Beauty Deals, BFF that have been posting that Rouge access code from Rouge members. So if you are not VIB, if you're not Rouge or you are VIB or Beauty Insider, please follow those Instagram profiles if you want to get that higher discount, which is what I fully recommend. Now, so like I said, I don't think you should shop if you're not Rouge. If you are Rouge, honestly, it really, really depends. And this is what we're going to get into next. What you should and should not buy. Mainly what you shouldn't buy, because one thing about the Sephora VIB sale, especially the fall VIB sale, is that it comes literally weeks before the Black Friday sale, which is the largest sale just generally in the US, to my understanding, and I've been here for about a decade. So Black Fridays is when you have the highest discounts across everything: makeup, tech, home goods, everything. Everything is on sale essentially. It's just a big sale. And one thing I have noticed about brands is that they have been doing their Black Friday sales a lot earlier than actually Black Friday. So I could see some Black Friday sales starting as soon as November 1st hits, which would actually overlap quite well with the VIB sale. So something to keep in mind as you're going into this is that there's going to be a massive sale, or typically a massive sale by all brands or most brands coming Black Friday. So chances are you may be able to get a higher discount. So what brands should you avoid? What not to buy? And I wanted to start off in this category. And for this, I actually went and looked at some of the sales that took place last year to see what brands were offering. Because typically, I found that you'll either see something similar or slightly better or slightly worse. So the brands' Black Friday sales don't tend to vary a lot, in my opinion. Now, first and foremost, I think this comes as no surprise. Do not buy Pat McGrath at Sephora. There is literally no world in which I think it makes sense to buy Pat McGrath at Sephora. Pat McGrath in recent years has had significant sales and quite frankly has had a continuous sale. I can't tell you the last time Pat McGrath was not on sale. She's on sale right now for 30% off. Like, make it make sense. And last year, if I'm recalling correctly, it went all the way up to, I believe, 35 to 40% off on the website. So if you are looking at picking up a Pat McGrath product, it is much more economical for you to pick it up at the Pat McGrath website because you're going to get it at a minimum 30% off. Typically, when you shop at Pat McGrath, there is a sort of money spend you have to reach to get the higher discounts. So for example, it might start off at 25% if you shop less than $125, and then it go up as your spend increases. But even with that, the low spend is typically a higher percentage than what you would get at Sephora. I would say the low spend is about 25%, so slightly higher than what you would get at Sephora. And if we're being quite frank, a Pat McGrath mothership is $129. So if that's what you're interested in picking up, you are 100% gonna get it at a bigger discount using because you would reach the spend to get 30% off or more. The other thing too Pat McGrath has been offering lately is bundles. So bundles are already discounted on her site. So you get the discount on top of the bundle. So let's say you were interested in picking up 2 motherships. If you buy a mothership bundle, that's already going to be cheaper than buying 2 motherships individually. And then you're going to get the discount, whether it be 25, 35, even 40% off on top of that, making it quite literally a steal. So Pat McGrath is definitely not a brand I would recommend you pick up at the Sephora sale. Next brand I think folks should avoid is going to be Natasha Denona. And this is going to have a big it depends attached to it, but I would say generally Natasha Denona you can avoid. What I've seen Natasha Denona do in the past 2 years is offer buy one get one on her eyeshadow palettes. Now this isn't every eyeshadow palette. What I've noticed recently is that she started pulling out some of the newest eyeshadow palettes and offering them at a slightly smaller discount, so you could probably get them for 30% off or 20% off. But the older eyeshadow palettes, which most of us have in our collection if you've been collecting for a while, are typically buy one get one free. So if you were looking at the giant Natasha Denona 28 pan eyeshadow palettes, those have been buy one get one free for the last 2 years, and they typically retail for I believe like $218 each. So it is a huge discount to buy it on her website. And some of the older midi palettes, like the Love palette, the Zendo palette, I've seen those offered as a buy one get one free. I'm gonna guess that the Xenon palette is gonna be one of those that's not gonna be buy one get one. So if that's what you're interested in, you may it may be flipping a coin whether you get a better deal there or at the Natasha Denona website. Another one that may not be available as buy one get one is I Need a Nude. I'm sensing that because it was a bestseller, it might just be a 20% off on the Natasha Denona website. An interesting thing about shopping the Natasha Denona website, and you can tell me if this is for you guys as well, is I realized that I don't get taxed when I buy online from them. Should I be saying this? Don't come for me. I'll be paying my taxes. But I find that when I purchase from Natasha Denona, if the palette is $69, I get charged $69. That's it. So I don't know if that's like a glitch or something, or I shouldn't be speaking on it, but just something to be mindful of. It might actually be better to buy it on the Natasha Denona website. Natasha has also started an affiliate program where you can use a influencer code. I actually have one now. It's just Jamila. And you get 15% off of your purchase. So I would say Natasha is probably a safe enough brand that you could skip or purchase directly from her website and save some money. The next brand I would say you should avoid is going to be Danessa Myricks. I love me some Danessa. That girl could kill an eyeshadow, but her prices aren't necessarily the cheapest, but she does offer a really, really good Black Friday sale. Last year, her site was 40% off site-wide, I believe. And I'm saying I believe because I did go back, look at a couple other creator videos on YouTube for Black Friday, and they listed out all of the sales. I tried my best to really be accurate about like what the sales were last year, and I looked at a number of different creators, but I just want to cover my tracks. So last year, I believe it was 40% off site-wide, which means you could pick up so many different things and get a huge discount, which is double what you would be getting at Sephora. So for me personally, I'm really interested in the light work. I think this is volume 4. Yeah, it might be volume 4. The light work volume 4. No, I think it's 3. I don't know. But the new light work palette, I really, really am interested in it. But that's $125. And 20% off is really only going to bring that down to like the $100 mark. So if I could get 40% off of it, it would be a much, much better discount for me. So I'm going to wait for the Danessa Myricks sale. Another brand that you might want to avoid is going to be LYS Beauty. So LYS Beauty or Love Yourself Beauty, another great Black owned beauty brand that had an amazing Black Friday sale. Last year, that was between 25 to 40% off. So you'll notice with some of these brands, they don't have a flat rate. It'll be some products that are 40% off, some products that are 20% off. So there is some variation that you might need to take into account when shopping there. But I remember LYS had a 40% off sale. I bought a sweater from them last year when it was on sale. Honestly, it wasn't good quality, so I kind of regret that. I bought a sweater from Pat McGrath, the Black Friday sale. Well, it was what's that long sleeve thing called? It was a long sleeve sweatshirt jersey. I don't think it's called a sweater. It was like a long sleeve jersey from Pat McGrath with like her gold logo and stuff. It was stunning, and I love that till today. It's like what I travel in all the time because I'm always cold in the airport. I'm always cold on planes, and that one always keeps me warm. So, and I'm backtracking, but usually these brands will have merch as well available. So if you were interested in merch, but you didn't want to pay the price for the merch, this is also a good time for you to get it at a discount. So LYS Beauty is a good brand for you to consider waiting for the Black Friday sale. I know that they have a new gold brush set that has piqued my interest, which isn't super expensive, but if I can get a bigger discount, I would totally be down for it. And LYS as a brand is not really expensive. So it's a decent price, full price. So if you were comfortable with what it is full price and 20% is good enough for you, then you can go ahead and buy it at Sephora and save your money there. Next up, Merit Beauty. So Merit last year, their sale was 30% off. Now granted, this isn't the biggest discount, but it is higher than what you would get at Sephora, so something to consider. Then Urban Decay, if you're still shopping Urban Decay, they had a 30% off sale last year. ABH also had a 30% off sale, and Huda Beauty had up to 80% off, which was actually pretty massive. Now the eyeshadow palettes were much lower in terms of discount, and probably close to around what you would get at the Sephora sale, maybe like a 20-25% off. So something to consider if you wanted to pick it up at Sephora versus on the Huda website. One thing when it comes to shopping at Sephora that might help sway your decision is the points. Now, I don't think Sephora has the best point system. I believe Ulta has a much better point system because you can just collect and collect and collect and take out a huge lump sum. Sephora only allows you to take it out in $10 increments unless you like really, really save to get the $100 Sephora gift card. But either way, if you are interested in building your points at Sephora, that might be the factor that will sway you regardless of a 20 or 20, regardless of a difference between a 20% discount or a 30% discount or a 25% discount. So something to keep in mind as you are planning your shopping. If you are planning to shop, I really think that you should have a shopping list ready to go, a wish list, so that, just so you know what you are interested in buying, and then you can go through and really think about, is this going to be on sale, or will there be a better sale for this during Black Friday or somewhere else? Because there are a number of retailers that will sell these products. Like Ulta sells more than Sephora at this point, including luxury brands like Chanel. So you don't necessarily have to buy from Sephora. And Ulta does a good job at giving out 20% coupons, I think, pretty often, or often enough throughout the year, so you can always get a good discount there. Okay, so now I want to get into the second category, which is brands that are probably safe to shop during at Sephora, or you can buy it on the brand website. Honestly, it's neither here nor there. It's kind of up to you, because it kind of goes both ways. So the first one I would say is Kosas. And Kosas, their sale last year was 25 to 30% off. Personally, 25% off versus 20% off could be quite minimal. So if you have to decide, it might make sense for you to just buy it on the Sephora website if you're planning to buy other products anyway. That way you don't have to worry about multiple shipping costs from multiple different brands. So that's also a really good factor to take into account if you were planning to shop, is if I don't buy from here and I buy this from there and that from there, is the shipping just going to add up, and is it going to like be a null and void savings? So Kosas is a brand that I think is quite borderline, because you typically will only get 25 to 30% off. Another borderline brand is going to be House Labs. Last year their Black Friday sale was only 20% off, so equivalent to that of Sephora. So I definitely think it makes more sense to buy it at Sephora if you're interested in picking up the House Labs products. Makeup by Mario, 25% off was their Black Friday sale last year. Again, pretty minuscule difference if you think about it, 20 to 25%. Say Beauty, also 25% off, pretty minuscule. Tower 28 and Hourglass both had a 20% off Black Friday sale last year. And for Hourglass, I will say that I feel like they only really offer 20% off anyway. So buying it at Sephora, buying it at Hourglass, doesn't really matter. It's going to be the shipping, I believe, that's going to really be the deciding factor. And Sephora allows you to return and try and store and all of that. So something to consider. Charlotte Tilbury. Charlotte Tilbury has one of the worst sales ever in any way, form, or fashion. Mainly because you really only get a discount on things that are purchased as bundles. Personally, I don't like bundles. Mainly because if I'm buying something, I usually want just that one thing, and I don't like being forced to purchase other things that I don't want or would not have wanted or needed at all. So they had 30% off their sets or off their bundles last year. What I have noticed when it comes to Charlotte Tilbury is that they go on sale pretty often on other retailers, not necessarily Sephora or Ulta, but I feel like you can get it at a pretty good discount at other retailers. I'm blanking on that one retailer's name, but I have seen good discounts for Charlotte Tilbury elsewhere, and I have purchased the vast majority of my Charlotte Tilbury on Poshmark and Mercari, because the resale value of those aren't great. So typically when I buy them off of Poshmark or Mercari, I usually get them brand new for about 50% off. So another option for you as you're thinking about how you plan to shop this sale is to look at retailers like Poshmark or Mercari, or resellers I should say, and see if you can get a better deal there. And then lastly, Fenty Beauty. So Fenty Beauty had a 25% off discount. I feel like Fenty Beauty offers a lot of these sales throughout the year where you can get 25% off. So if you don't shop this one, I do think you can get another discount at Fenty. And their clearance page is usually pretty quite good. But it is pretty borderline because it's just 25% off. So if you really did want to purchase something, you could buy it at Sephora as well. And a good thing to consider when you are shopping for all of these sort of safe or even not so safe brands is looking at the gift sets. I find that the gift sets tend to have a decent value, most of them. I would definitely say just be careful, check to make sure that you like at least 50% or more of the products in there. But gift sets tend to be a good value in terms of value for cost, and then to get a discount on top of that is always better in my opinion. And then finally, I want to get into the definitely safe category. And these are brands that I feel like never really go on sale. So this is really your only opportunity to shop them, to my knowledge. So the first one I would say is Gucci. So Gucci Beauty, I feel like I don't really see Gucci on sale anywhere else. Maybe at like a Macy's or a Nordstrom, but at most I feel like the discount is typically about a 15% off. So not very high. So Gucci Beauty is a brand that I think you are very safe purchasing at the Sephora sale. Another one is Dior. Dior, it is available at Ulta Beauty now, so if you get a 20% off coupon, you can use it there. But I think you can purchase it at Sephora, and it's a brand that I don't see go on sale very frequently. And you'll notice here the trend is that the luxury, and I'm talking about like the major fashion house brands, are the ones that are not going on sale anywhere else. So the Gucci, the Dior, like Westman Atelier, these stupid expensive brands, I feel like don't go on sale very, very often anyway. And finally, I feel like fragrances are pretty safe to purchase during the VIB sale because this is a great way to get a pretty solid discount, and these fragrances are pricey. So if you are interested in, you know, stocking up on your fragrance collection, I think this is a good time for you to shop. And then the last thing that I want to mention are the cosmetics company store outlet brands. So the CCO, which I've talked about a lot on my channel, is the outlet store for the Estee Lauder umbrella of brands. So think Estee Lauder, Too Faced, La Mer, Jo Malone, all of these products and all of these brands are under the Estee Lauder umbrella. And the outlet store is where you can actually purchase these products, Tom Ford, at 40% off at a minimum, all the way up to 50% off. And if it goes on clearance, you can get it to from 60 to 75% off. So Tom Ford is definitely a do not buy brand, in my opinion, at Sephora, because you can purchase it from the CCO for 50% off at a minimum, and the price just gets higher and higher. The discount, sorry, just gets higher and higher and higher. So I definitely recommend that you just nix all of the CCO brands, because those you get a higher discount on an everyday basis. So I go to my CCO pretty frequently. I also am on their sort of email contact list, where if there are new products in stock that they think I would like, they actually send me a text and say, hey, we got this new Tom Ford palette, do you want to come see? So it is one where you don't have to wait for a future sale, because they typically have products on sale. And what I have noticed is that they have been getting in a lot of the new products fairly quickly. For example, the Traceless Matte Concealer came out, I want to say 4 to 7 months ago, and this is already available at the CCO. Now the retail price for this is $60, but I got it for 50% off. Plus they have coupons there too. So I got it for 50% off, plus I had a 20% off coupon to stack on top of that. So pretty solid discount, because I wasn't paying $60 for no one concealer that's the size of a lipstick. Absolutely not. So if you are interested in the Too Faced, the Origins, the Bobbi Brown, the Aveda, the Tom Ford, MAC isn't sold at Sephora, but those brands, definitely don't purchase it during the Sephora sale, and check out your local CCO, because you can get it at a good discount there. They also do have an online store with much smaller selection of products, but something worth checking out if you're looking for something specific. Alright, so I wanted to keep this video really short because I want to edit this and get this up tonight for you guys. Well, the last thing that I want to say is that at the end of the day, this is your money. Buy what you want. Do what makes you happy. As long as you guys aren't going into financial debt, trying to keep up with the Joneses and to buy all of this product, and you know your finances better than anybody else, don't let anybody judge you for liking and loving makeup and not wanting to be a makeup minimalist. Your money, your choice. You don't have to explain anything to nobody. So while I'm telling you guys tips and tricks and how to get the best discount, you don't have to listen to me at all. If you decide you want to spend all your money at Sephora, you go for it, girl. I am not here to judge whatsoever. So just something to keep in mind. And I always like to say there will always be another sale. There will literally always be another sale. So something to consider is that this will not be the last sale by a long shot. We are getting into the holiday season, so you will see those sales rolling all out the door. So don't feel the pressure to shop. And if you need to, feel free to unsubscribe, unfollow, or mute or, you know, block anything that is going to trigger you and make you want to spend money that you don't have or will ruin your sort of budget for the month. All right, so that's really it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoy seeing this quick what not to buy video. Happy shopping, have a good day, have a good weekend. As always, I appreciate you guys so much more than you know, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.